moving on to our fan favorite portion of the show. 7 questions set to medium difficulty, all multiple choice. I do not have the answers in front of me. So let's play along. You keep your own score, okay? You're allowed to make one joke answer and one real answer. But after you make your real answer, you can't take it back. And if you do take it back, shame on you. Shame. Here we go. Question number 1. Facebook comments not working. Son of a gun. Thank you for that. Oh, look at all those comments that we were not seeing. All right. And we are seeing them now. What about Zeus? Again, comments are not working. Nah. Just going through the comments. What about Gabagool? Yes, you could throw Gabagool in there. Patrick loves my shirt. Thank you, buddy. Dunkin' Donuts old-fashioned, the best kind. Maple brown sugar mixed with apple cinnamon. Why Joey? Why not Rabbit? Baked potato with sour cream. Yeah, hey, man. I love all of these roasted taters. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, you got soccer later. Wednesday through apparently you can still figure out the comment. Okay, lots of... All right, okay, all right. And there we go. Good. We got that fixed just in time for the questions. Question number 1. Which future... Wait. I didn't share with you. I see some names over there. I'm sharing this with you now. I have changed the dates on the billboard, or the times on the billboard. So where it was 4 to 11 p.m. on Thursdays, I did that for me so I could drive by it on the way to the Comedy Zone and on the way from the Comedy Zone, and I could get a chance to see my billboard. I have moved that to Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you get a picture in front of the billboard, and we're up when it comes up, there is all kinds of swag that you can get. Cool things like this one-of-a-kind Lunds B beanie. You could get that. But you can't get this one because it's a one-of-a-kind. It's mine. Can't have it. Just so you know, get a picture in front of it, and cool things can happen for you. Let's get started. Now, let's get it started with This Week in History, a trivia style. Question number 1. Comments are not working. Yeah, the comments are working. Saturdays, 9 until 4. Yes. Question number 1. Which future U.S. president was born on October 27th, 1858? What future U.S. president was born on October 27th, 1858? Here are your multiple choice answers. William McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, or Calvin Coolidge. I don't think that is medium difficulty. It is a random guess, man. I have no idea who was born on October 27th, 1858. What future U.S. president? All of them are future U.S. presidents. And a shot in the dark, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. I'm going to go with old Teddy. Why not? Robert goes with Ford. That's funny. Again, one joke answer, one real answer. Yeah, but you can't go over the limit. Coolidge. Okay, Calvin Coolidge is Mr. Taney's choice. Sticking around and delaying a little bit. Robert changes his answer. His actual answer is Coolidge. Got it. And Jessica. Always waiting on Jessica. I love it. Coolidge? Question mark. No, he wasn't 100 in 1958. He was dead in 1958. He was since been dead. I'm sticking with my answer. You stick with yours. Everybody went with Coolidge except me. I went with Teddy. We'll find out together. Question number 2. On October 28th, 1886, making waffles. October 28th, 1886, what landmark gift was officially dedicated in New York Harbor? Oh, come on. This should be an easy one. Margaret is going to go with Teddy. I like Margaret. I like her because she agrees with me. We might be wrong, but we'll be wrong together. I love it. Here are your multiple choice options. October 28th, 1886, what landmark gift was officially dedicated in New York Harbor? The Brooklyn Bridge, the Statue of Libertad, the Empire State Building, or Ellis Island Immigration Stazione. Which one was officially dedicated on October 28th, 1886? Again, your multiple choice options: the Brooklyn Bridge, the Statue of Libertad, the Empire State Building, or Ellis Island Immigration Stazione. Robert pops in with the Statue of Liberty, which is a surprise because normally he has a fake answer first. Or he would say like Dunkin' Donuts. But he went with Statue of Liberty, waiting for other people to pop in with their answers. I agree with Robert. I also believe it was the Statue of Liberty. Mr. Taney decided to go with the Brooklyn Bridge. Interesting. The Lady Taneys, I'm sure, will be popping in with answers soon. But I can't wait too long in silence. Okay, Jess with Statue of Libertad. And moving on, question number 3. You can put your answers in whenever you want. Even if you're not watching this live, you can put your answers in, and I will come back and like them later. Question number 3. On October 27th, 1904, which major urban transit system began operating? October 27th, 1904. What major urban transit system began operating? Was it the New York City subway, the London Underground, the Chicago L, or the Paris Metro? Again, I don't really feel like these questions were set to medium. This is one of the things, either you know it or you do not know it. October 27th, 1904, what major urban transit system began operating? It feels like we've got a New York theme going on here. I'm going to go with New York. That's my guess. And it's just a guess. I am not feeling confident about any of my answers this week. What say you? While you're putting in your answers for number 3, I will start reading question number 4. What act did Congress pass on October 28th, 1919 to enforce prohibition in the United States? Mr. Taney's going to go with New York. Robert's going to go with the elevated platforms in Chicago. Jessica's going to go with New York. Okay. Again, what act did Congress pass on October? Nope. Yes. What act did Congress pass on October 28th, 1919 to enforce prohibition in the United States? Here are your multiple choice options. The Volstead Act, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, the Immigration Act, or the Federal Reserve Act? Well, I believe, because of the names, Margaret's going to go with New York. I like Margaret. We agree again. I don't believe it's the Immigration Act, and I don't believe it's the Federal Reserve Act. So that gets us down to a 50-50 shot between Smoot-Hawley or the Volstead. And I believe I've heard Volstead. Mr. Taney agrees. It's Volstead. And I believe it's the Volstead. I watched Boardwalk Empire. I know things. Yes, I just said that. Perfect. Again, take your time getting your answers in. And we're going to move on to question number 5 while you're popping that in there. On October 28th, 1922, which leader marched on Rome, leading to fascist control of Italy? October 28th, I think it was a Friday, 1922, what leader marched on Rome, leading to fascist control of Italy? Was it Benito Mussolini, Adolfo Hitler, Francisco Franco, or Vladimir Lenin? Hannibal, funny, boosted. I don't know what boosted means. Hannibal, stupid phone, Volstead. Okay. Jessica's also going to go with the Volstead Act. 1922, what leader marched on Rome, turning it into a fascist country? Well, I'd probably say the Italian. My guess is probably Benito Mussolini. I don't think him and Hitler were friends in 1922. Adolfo Hitler was a German guy you may have heard of. Francisco Franco was a Spaniard, and Vladimir Lenin was a Ruski. So I'm going to go with the Italian Benito Mussolini. That's my answer. I'm sticking to it. Waiting to see yours. Robert goes with Mussolini. Taney goes with Mr. Taney goes with Mussolini and Adolfo Hitler. Volstead, Margaret says, and I agree again with Margaret. Moving on. Question number 6. On October 27th, 1787, what influential series of essays began publication in New York City? Mussolini, again, Margaret, killing it. I feel better every time you answer the answer I answer. I feel more confident that I may be right. This is Caitlin. I'm eating waffles. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome sauce. October 27th, 1787, what influential series of essays began publication in New York City? Jessica, she's going with Mussolini also. Was it the Federalist Papers? Was it Common Sense? Was it The Rights of Man? Or was it Democracy in America? What series of papers began printing on October 27th, 1787 in New York City? My answer is the Federalist Papers. I'm going to go with that. It could have been Common Sense. And remember, if Common Sense was common, it would just be called sense. Because that one, those were papers. But I'm going to go with the Federalist Papers. That's me. That's my guess. And the last question, dear Abby, funny. The last question of the week. So get your answers in for the earlier questions as quickly as possible. Quickly, there's no time. Final question. October 28th, 1962. Yes, Thomas Paine wrote the Common Sense. October 28th, 1962. What major Cold War crisis ended after the Soviet Union ordered removal of missiles from Cuba? Common Sense, is that your answer? Are you saying Common Sense is your answer? Robert's saying Common Sense is his answer. This one, question number 7, if you get it wrong, you're going to get a 1-week ban. If you get question number 7 wrong, you can't play next week. You can't listen to the next episode of the Lunsby Show. You're going to get a ban for a week. October 28th, 1962, the Cold War crisis ended. What Cold War crisis ended after the United States, the Soviet Union ordered removal of missiles from Cuba? Was it the Berlin blockade, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Korean War armistice, or the Vietnam War protest movement? Jessica's going to go with Common Sense. Mr. Taney agrees that his answer is Common Sense. The final question I will let you answer, but do not get it wrong. I do not need listeners. I can do this by myself with no one viewing. I just enjoy having you. So don't get banned. All right. Again, final question. October 28th, 1962, Soviets stopped doing Soviet things with Cuban missiles. What was the thing? You just said the answer, you tard. Then get it right. I got to do the TikTok thing over here to prove I'm still alive. I gave you multiple choice answers. The question itself answers. Cuban Missile Crisis, all hell Fidel Castro. Hilarious. So, yep, there's Robert's answer. He went with the Cuban Missile Crisis. I, of course, am going to go with the Cuban Missile Crisis. And now we're going to say, please provide the answers. Now, if you don't answer, I'm just going to assume you knew the correct answer. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Here we go with the correct answers. Now, remember, the goal is to go 7 for 7. If you go 7 for 7, there's no better way to start your Sunday. It's going to start your week off right. You're going to feel really smart and intelligent. If you don't go 7 for 7, don't feel bad. We rarely do. Question number 1. The answer, Teddy Roosevelt. I'm just going to say, right now, me, Margaret, we're killing it. 1 for 1. The rest of you who chose Coolidge, wrong. So wrong. Question number 2 was, in fact, the Statue of Liberty. The Brooklyn Bridge was not a gift from France, Mr. 0-2. Mr. Guy who called me a tard. Question number 3 was the New York City subway. Margaret's going to go with common sense. Uh-oh, that's scary. EAD. Question number 4 was the Volstead Act. Question number 5 was Benito Mussolini and only Benito Mussolini. Question number 6, I am feeling good right now. Woo! I am feeling it, baby. Question number 6, against all those haters out there, was the Federalist Papers. And Margaret changed her answer to common sense. I don't know why you did that, Margaret. We were doing so well together. And, of course, the final question, question number 7, of which I got all of them right, was the Cuban Missile Crisis. Woo! Boy, I tell you what, that did. That's a great way to start your Sunday. So there you got your National Days of the Week, your little community comedy charity note, and we wrapped it up with This Week in History, trivia style. A new episode of the Lunds B Show will be taped today, somewhere in between Buffalo beating Carolina and Lewis Hamilton taking first place in the Grand Prix de Mexico. It's going to be a good day. I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you were a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow. Chick Brew sends her love, and I'm out. Lunsby.